Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a monumental piece of cinema. A film that peels back the layers of heroism to reveal the raw human heart of conflict. We're talking about Sergei Bondarchuk's 1975 masterpiece. They fought for their country. This isn't your typical war movie filled with non-stop action and grand strategies. Instead, it's an intimate, character-driven epic that explores the soul of the Soviet soldier during the darkest days of World War II. The story is set in July 1942. A harrowing time for the Red Army. The German forces are advancing relentlessly across the steppe, pushing towards Stalingrad. We're introduced to a small, exhausted platoon of soldiers, a remnant of a once mighty regiment, now forced into a constant, grueling retreat. The film immediately throws us into their reality. There are no grand speeches or glorious charges here. Just the dust of the road, the scorching sun, and the weary faces of men who have seen too much. At the heart of our story are three soldiers who form a microcosm of the entire army. First, there's Petr Lopakin, played by the legendary writer and actor Vasily Shukshin in his final poignant role. Lopakin is the soul of the platoon, a joker, a storyteller, and a relentless optimist, even in the face of despair. His humor is his shield, a way to keep morale from completely collapsing. He'll trade barbs with anyone, find a reason to laugh even when his stomach is empty, and chase after a pretty nurse with a twinkle in his eye. But beneath the wisecracking exterior is a man of profound loyalty and surprising depth, a soldier who understands the grim necessity of their task. Then we have Ivan Zvyagintsev, a former tractor driver, a simple man of the earth. He's the platoon's anchor to a life before the war. All he talks about is his home, his wife, and his farm. He dreams of returning to the simple, honest work of tilling the land. Zvyagintsev represents the millions who are torn from their peaceful lives and thrown into the crucible of war. He fights not for ideology, but for the tangible things he loves, his family and his home. His conversations, often filled with complaints about his wife or worries about his farm, provide a constant, touching reminder of what's truly at stake for these men. And finally, there's Nikolai Streltsov, a former agronomist. He is the quiet intellectual of the group, a man more comfortable with books and theories than with a rifle. Initially, he seems out of place, almost fragile amidst the brutality. But as the platoon faces one impossible situation after another, Streltsov reveals a core of unyielding steel. He is a man who fights with quiet determination, his resolve hardened by the horrors he witnesses. He embodies the resilience of the ordinary citizen turned soldier, discovering a strength he never knew he possessed. The film's structure is episodic, following the platoon through a series of brutal defensive engagements. They're not conquering territory. They're simply trying to survive and slow the enemy's advance, buying precious time for the larger army to regroup. Their first major test comes when they're ordered to dig in and defend a strategic height. The battle sequences in this film are utterly visceral and terrifyingly realistic. Bondarchuk, who also directed the epic War and Peace, was a master of scale. You feel the ground shake with every explosion. You see the sky filled with Stuka dive bombers, their sirens screaming like birds of prey. But what sets these scenes apart is the focus on the individual soldier's experience. We're not watching from a general's map table. We're in the trenches with Lopakin, Zvyagintsev, and Streltsov. We feel their terror as the tanks roll over their positions. We hear their desperate breaths as they scramble for ammunition. The film shows the sheer, unglamorous filth of combat, the sweat, the blood, the dirt, and the deafening noise. It's a sensory assault that makes the soldiers' bravery all the more profound. They aren't fearless supermen. They are terrified men who choose to stand their ground anyway. Between the battles, the film gives us moments of quiet reflection. These are, in many ways, the most powerful scenes. We see the soldiers gathered around a small fire, sharing their meager rations, telling stories, and arguing like brothers. Lopakin teases Zvyagintsev about his wife, leading to a classic, humorous exchange that reveals their deep bond. They talk about the past and dream about a future that seems impossibly distant. It's in these quiet moments that the true cost of war becomes clear. It's not just about the lives lost, but about the stolen moments of peace, the lost laughter, and the interrupted lives. One particularly memorable sequence involves the platoon's encounter with the local civilian population. As they retreat through a village, they face the suspicion and sometimes outright hostility of the women left behind. These women have lost their husbands, sons, and homes, and they see the retreating soldiers as a symbol of failure. An elderly woman confronts the men, her grief and anger pouring out in a torrent of accusations. It's a painful, honest scene that refuses to shy away from the complex emotions of the home front. It shows that the war was not just fought on the battlefield, but in the hearts and minds of everyone it touched. The climax of the film sees the platoon making a final, desperate stand. They are ordered to hold their position at all costs to cover the crossing of other Soviet units over the Don River. By now, their numbers have dwindled. They are wounded, exhausted, and running out of everything. The final battle is a testament to human endurance. We see Streltsov, grievously wounded, continuing to fight. We see Zvyojintsov, the gentle farmer, transformed into a hardened warrior. And we see Lapikov, his jokes finally silenced, fighting with a grim, focused rage. In the aftermath, the few survivors, including our main characters, are battered but unbroken. As they are given a new regimental banner to replace the one they lost, there is no triumphalism. There's only a somber sense of duty fulfilled and the heavy knowledge of the price they paid. The final shot of the film is incredibly powerful, showing the weary soldiers marching on. Their faces etched with loss, but their spirits, somehow intact. They're heading towards Stalingrad, and we know their fight is far from over. They Fought for Their Country is a deeply patriotic film, but its patriotism is earned through honesty, not propaganda. It celebrates the courage of the common soldier by showing the full extent of his suffering. It's a tribute to a generation that endured the unendurable. Vasily Shukshin's performance as Lapikov is a force of nature, made all the more moving by the fact that he passed away shortly after filming was completed. The film is dedicated to him, and it stands as a magnificent final testament to his talent. In the end, the movie leaves you with a profound sense of respect and sorrow. It's a powerful reminder that behind every statistic, behind every battle plan, there were individuals with their own stories, hopes, and fears. They were farmers, teachers, and jokers who fought for their country not because they loved war, but because they loved the homes and the people they had left behind. It's a film that stays with you long after the credits roll, a true classic of world cinema. If you're looking for a war film that values character over spectacle and humanity over heroism, you absolutely must watch They Fought for Their Country. It's a slow burn, deeply moving, and unforgettable experience. Thank you so much for joining me for this look back at a cinematic great. If you enjoyed this analysis, please hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and let me know in the comments what you think of this film. See you next time.